So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. That's just a little. So one of the downsides of being a reporter or doing what I do is that you have to stay on top of your game, follow up with trends, cover real life issues of real people, and bring these news to the audience. And so in the process, you find yourself consuming a lot of sorrow, right? And on the outside, somebody on the outside might feel like, oh, one should be able to distance oneself from the stories that they cover. But no, especially when you're very passionate about what you do, or maybe when you're empathetic by nature, you'll still find yourself internalizing a lot from other people's pain. And for someone like me who is very, very detailed and I devote a lot of time to researching, to inquiry, I find myself sometimes in the dead of the night, immersed in my work, reading about painful betrayals and murders, domestic violence, child molestation, and all of these really sad things. Had it not been the field that I am in, when I come across these cases, or sometimes, especially when it involves children getting hurt, I will just scroll fast because if you know me, you know that I love children very deeply. As a teenager, I wasn't the kind of teenager who would like to go out. Okay, this is the internet. If you say lie, someone that knows you somewhere can easily point you out. So I wasn't the kind of teenager that loved to go out. Even now, I still have very little interest in that, in the outdoors. I prefer the indoors, and my idea of fun then was to gather all the children in my neighborhood, in my vicinity, and I'll make the hair of the girls and I'll teach them English, we'll do English tests, and I'll teach them how to walk, I'll teach them confidence and all of those things. And as I grew into a young adult and started doing my own thing, making my own money, small money here and there, I'll prefer to just visit orphanages and take gifts to sick children in general hospitals and, those kinds of charity work. I really do love children so much. In fact, I by far prefer being in the company of children to adults. They are just so pure, so innocent. But then again, when I consider completely avoiding these subjects that tend to hurt or trigger, I'm quickly reminded of the dangers of secrecy, of silence, of fear, of shame, and how these factors are the very ones that are responsible for the statistics that we have today. And so I'm quickly reminded that as long as I draw breath, my purpose isn't just about what I like to do or what I do not like to do. It's about being a mouthpiece, adding one more voice and changing one more mindset. Why do I feel like I just had my TEDx talk? Hello guys, what's up and welcome back once again. If you're new here, you're yet to subscribe, maybe you're seeing my face for the first time or you've been going in and out, garbaging in and out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, you know the drill. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section and stay glued, for we always have very educative and life-impacting content coming your way. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram, same name, Nezeville, and join our premium channel if you are interested in getting premium quality content that I will not post here because it doesn't align with a vast majority of my audience here. So the first video that we came across just within a 1 week period is this video here of this grown-up man who was apprehended for trying to defile a 9-year-old baby and her cousins on the night of her father's burial.
He just opened his clothes and showing me his people. That he said that if you want people like to touch it and bring it out.
I was in that building that was inside. Everybody was there watching me. I was not standing there. He now was at my back. He now touched me like this. And now looking back, I now shift. Now do my hand like this. He was asking me questions. I'm doing his hand like this. I'm doing his PPP like that.
And the next was this news of a 3-year-old baby at school. And the foundation that posted it. This was what they said. A baby has been in a school by the gatesman. Where is the Abia State government? This should not be covered. Reports reaching me now says that a 3-year-old child attending, let me spell the name of the school and this address, in Aba, Abia State, has been defiled by the school's gatesman, who is also a relative to the proprietor. The parents reported to the police in Aba, but the proprietor of the school is trying to bribe the police to take the case elsewhere, where she's connected. Please share to the appropriate authorities as the child is...
Okay, ne been around.
No, we get man.
Okay, get man, ne go le. Dominion School. So we heard about the little girl saying that you touched her. Did you do that?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I am sorry for that.
You are sorry for that?
Yes.
But you know her life would never be the same again.
Yes, I will not do it again.
The next thing I saw scrolling through social media was a video of this great grandpa with fingers that looks like he just got mummified, looking like the fingers of a cadaver, lifting this young lady's skirts in a public transport, thinking that she was distracted by the phone call that she was on. So right there in the open, in a bus while he was driving, he was trying to sexually molest her. And before I could recover from that, next thing was this news. Of course, all these things I'm saying, if you are very active on social media, you should have come across these stories. It's not like they're made up. Within the last 1 week, I add again. Next we saw was this news of this over 50-year-old man luring his late friend's 14-year-old daughter to a hotel to sleep with him. Luckily enough, the child is well trained, very bold and self-aware, so she voiced out, got him recorded for evidence, and he was picked up at the hotel where he was waiting with condoms.
It is that produces a child. I hope you know that. Okay, so a lady that's not ready to go to have a child yet, one, uses a CD. The man uses a condom on her so that she doesn't get pregnant. That is one. Two, in case there's disease, there are diseases now, there are STDs. So the use is not just to protect, it's not just to prevent pregnancy.
Hello.
Hello?
Sir?
You know. Who is there with you?
Nobody.
Who is there with you?
Sir?
Who is there with you?
Nobody is.
Oh, you calm down now. So that is the whole essence of it. So not be scared of anything. We'll be right. Then we'll see tomorrow. Then we'll go with ourselves. You not tell me what you want.
Now, these incidents are just to mention but a few. And mind you, as I said, these broke out within the last 1 week only. Now, don't even get started on the many others that will never or may never make it to social media. Of the many others that happen in very rural areas that will not get visibility. Of the many others that happen and the families were too ashamed to make noise about it, or were paid off due to the poverty and illiteracy level in the country, were paid off to keep shut. Or the many others that happen every day that these children didn't get the courage or the boldness to tell anybody, and it's still happening in secrecy. Social media has been a huge blessing in this regard, but I kid you not. Do not confuse or mistake it for a new menace. This has almost been a culture. It has been happening in our society for a long time. Gather every 100 girls in Nigeria, and I am not exaggerating, at least 98 have at some point in their childhood been touched inappropriately by a mature man, outrightly raped, been a victim of indecent assaults, or molested, escaped it by close whiskers. And then one wonders, who are these men? Is it that they come down from Pluto, Mars, and Jupiter, commit these atrocities, and then go back at night? No, they are here with us. They live amongst us. They are our brothers. They are our husbands. They are our sons, our uncles, our cousins. And how you can tell that these people are around us. Let us take this social experiment. For example, let's say a story breaks about a girl getting molested. Scan through the comment section. If there are 1,000 comments, 980 condemning it will be from women. I'm not saying that there are some of my kings that do not condemn it. There are. What I am saying is check the percentage, check the numbers. But still on this social experiment, though, let the subject be about submission. Waking up by 4 a.m. to cook for your husband. Obedience for your Lord in marriage. Check the comment section. Check the interest. Check the passion given. This is a clear demonstration of high complicity, because one cannot criticize or openly condemn things that they are part of, things that they are a party to, things that they practice either by actively engaging in it or having engaged in it in the past, or excuse it directly or indirectly, or downplay its weight. This common sense. And sometimes why we find ourselves arguing blindly on social media is when we have refused to apply common sense. A woman, for example, who is a queen at nagging cannot and will not join in the criticism when a content on nagging wives, condemning nagging wives, make it to her timeline. She cannot comment there. She cannot show distaste in her comments, because she is as guilty as sin, or she is implicated in some way. So this silence is a big message. The silence is loud. Why the silence? I have done several videos in the past creating awareness for the girl child, how we can teach them, how we can groom them, how we can bring them to self-awareness early, how we can give them sex education, and when to start teaching them, what to start teaching them, how they can protect themselves, especially in countries that offer little to no protection for women, for children, and other vulnerable people. But in this video, I want to speak on what we can do with the men, with the boys. I have always insisted on my channel on how good men are, how selfless by nature they are, how they are able to absorb pressure without announcing it, how they are a species of people who would hide their own fears so others around them can feel safe. When you meet a good man, you will know, say God they create. But the two major issues that we face, in fact, check all these topics where we come here to settle issue, divorce, problem, this, that. The two major wahalas around family, home, in the marriage, society, with our men are always centered on two things: violence and lust. Exerting force where dialogue is needed, and coordinating matters around the Bakassi Peninsula. If a man can conquer these two demons, these two things, heaven is sure. It will surprise you that these incidents of rampant child abuse by grown-up men, fathers molesting their daughters, uncles touching their nieces, stepdads assaulting their stepdaughters, it is not only restricted to Nigeria. It happens everywhere across the world. Go to these foreign channels where these topics are discussed. Go to the comment section. You will see several women recounting their painful experiences with sex abuse.
He first started molesting me. I was 8 years old, and he told me that he had to teach me how to be a woman, and I believed him. At the same time, he said that I couldn't. He said that everyone was doing this. This is what all fathers did with their daughters, but then I couldn't tell anybody.
In 2016, I discovered that my husband had been sexually abusing our daughter. No, he was not her stepdad. This was the biological father of all of our children. We had been married probably about 13 years at the time.
It's just that in these countries, justice is more assured. But in these other countries like ours, with weak systems, with shame culture, with corruption, poverty, with a failed or faulty justice system, with suppressive patriarchy and many other factors, the statistics are bound to be higher, because without law and order, the animalistic part of human beings will become dominant. So while we keep pushing for, encouraging and advocating for stronger systems, laws, police, enforcement to check and mitigate these things, because it is not just a moral issue, it is a serious legal issue. So while we are doing all of that, it is still important for us to tackle it domestically by tracing it to tendencies and foundations. These higher tendencies are linked to environment and values. Let us talk about these foundations. Forgive me to say, but you know that I am never sorry about my opinions. The truth is that the last generation of mothers, and maybe those before them, failed woefully in raising their sons, especially as regards women. Maybe raising them to be strong, ambitious. Yeah, I'm talking about as regards women, how to treat them, how to view them as equals. And I'm not talking about equals maybe in marriage. That's a biblical argument or traditional argument. I'm talking about equals in the society as fellow human beings in the society. First, there is this social conditioning. Boys in Nigeria, in many African countries, are raised with the message that discourage emotional regulation and empathy while rewarding dominance. Society has so socialized men to associate masculinity with aggression and entitlement. And when entitlement mixes with aggression and it becomes distorted, it can easily turn into coercive behavior, either through marital abuse or sexual abuse. And this is one of the major factors why we have the prevalence of these things. Mothers, we need to teach our sons very intentionally that women, girls, are just as human as they are, and that the world does not revolve around them. All those bullshit slogans, it is a man's world, boys will be boys, and all those things that encourage that kind of superiority complex, that is what is contributing to these feelings of entitlement. Let us train them to understand that women were not made for their pleasure, that the female's body is not a gift given to them by the Creator for their satisfaction. Let us teach them self-discipline, and it starts from when they are children. Secondly, I find that a lot of our men were raised to believe that money and power is all they need to be whole. Don't get me wrong, money and power is good, but wherever and whenever power is concentrated without order, without empathy, without checks and balances, abuse is certain. Let us teach our sons that strength is not in dominance, and leadership is more about responsibility than control. Let us groom them to know that no is not a challenge, it is an answer, a final answer. Let us not make excuses for reckless behavior from our sons with no consequences. He is a boy now man in B now. Fathers should show their sons that masculinity is not proven through conquest, through suppression, but through restraint, through integrity, and through protection. Because in my place they say, "Oh bro, let me not bite my tongue." They say that no be madman, they shame. Now madman family. So see this daddy now, his pictures published. Imagine the shame on his wife. Imagine the shame on his children. So when we teach our children right, we are trying to avert future shame, not just for them, but for ourselves. Yes, we can try. They will still go astray, but try first. Many of these men doing these things grew up hearing their mothers tell them, "Now man you be now, you fit get anything. Man know the old, man know the ugly, man know they get bad character. Man. Many of them grew up watching their fathers lead painfully, lead with force, lead with violence, and they have adopted those patterns as a way of life because they do not know any different and they have chosen not to know. A lot of the ways we turn out starts with the foundational values that were placed for us, that were imbibed in and instilled in us. Raise the male child. Raise the male child. Mothers, fathers, raise your male children. Lastly, I want to speak about this last one before we bring this video to an end from an angle of experience and relatability. Boys on the average tend to show higher energy levels, higher impulsivity, higher curiosity, and that is why men are more prone to crime. This is not a shade, it's not a guesswork. The statistics speak for themselves, right? So this is reality. That is why we have more men in prisons and more women in churches. So now all of those energy is not bad. That's what makes them who they are. And because energy, they say, does not disappear, right? It transforms from one type to the other. Maybe so they talk for physics or that chemistry, which where they talk. So energy redirects. The problem starts when that energy, that excess energy, does not have structure. When the movement is constantly suppressed instead of being directed, it may now convert into disruption. When that their high curiosity isn't guided, it can turn into boundary testing. When their natural drive for competition isn't given healthy outlets, it can turn to aggression. When a male child doesn't find proper platforms for challenge, for risk-taking, and for recognition, as their structure often drive them to desire, then that child will now look for that need in the wrong places, through reckless behavior, through harmful peer groups, through sexualized behaviors, and all of that. Parents, work our hands. Now God go help us. I am not speaking from a point of perfection. I'm speaking from a point of putting heads together in search of solution. Give these sons of yours, these sons of ours, responsibilities. Even at home, do not underrate what being responsible, having responsibilities, even domestically, can do in making someone an overall disciplined person. Parents of the modern time, don't be like our parents. Responsibilities at home are not only for your female children. Channel their energy to physical outlets. If it's sports, play ball, swimming, taekwondo, anyone, channel their energy into physical outlets. Let them expend it. If it is church activities, put them inside. If it's drumming, let them be drumming for the church. If it's sweep, let them sweep the church. Anyone, let them know God. Let them enter the church if that's your choice. Let us try and teach them skills. Cooking, yes. Cooking is done with survival skill. Gone are the days they say man does not cook. If man can eat, man can cook. Teach them cooking. Teach them baking. Teach them coding, piano lessons. Teach them something, a skill. Boys respond strongly to progress and improvement. Let us teach them boundaries as kids. Let us teach them emotional literacy that the last generation of men were not taught. And you are seeing how many women are suffering in marriages now. So why do you want to repeat the same thing for another woman in the future? That woman does not, in the future, will not have the tolerance that you have. Oh. Let these our sons get mentorship from sensible men that embody discipline and calm strength that can shape their behavior better. Toxic masculinity is killing us. It is the reason why a lot of men go around thinking that they can take what is not given to them. It is the reason for many of these ills that we are suffering as a people around child and gender-based abuse and how prevalent it is in Africa. This change starts with us. The way the next generation of men and of course women turn out rests in our hands as parents. Let us do our best to keep the next generation of girls, of children, of people safer. And as we do, may God in His infinite mercy help us. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you are seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts down in the comment section, and stay glued for we have so much more coming your way. Don't forget that our book, our powerful book, The Unbroken Spirit, is now up and ready for grabs. It's on Amazon. You can always use the Amazon link that I link, or you can just go to Amazon and search Nezeville. I'm the only Nezeville there. So you can buy this book. It teaches a lot. Very good for single people trying to figure out their direction. Very good for people who are going through things but do not know what to call them, how to place them, how to handle them. Excellent for people who are going through some challenges in their marriage, but it is not divorce worthy and they're so unhappy, they're stuck, they don't know what to do. It teaches coordination even while you are inside that marriage. There is so much to learn, so grab a copy today. Thank you once again, guys. It's me, your girl, Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.
Born with two dogs, invisible but real as your heartbeat. Violence and lust. When you're young, they're puppies, manageable. When you hit puberty, they become wolves, chained to your wrists, one on each side, pulling you towards destruction. The violence dog yanks you towards rage when you're disrespected, towards fists when words would work, towards domination when partnership is needed. The lust dogs pulls you towards every woman who isn't yours, towards instant gratification over lasting love, towards taking what isn't offered. Most boys think that becoming a man means letting their dogs run free. I'm a man, I do what I want. No, that's not a man, that's an animal with a credit card. A gentleman, he's mastered his dogs. When his wife frustrates him, violence sits. When his neighbor's wife smiles at him, lust heals. When his children defy him, violence stays down. When temptation whispers, lust doesn't move. Not because the dogs are gone, they're never gone. Not because he's weak, it takes infinite strength. But because he's decided, I control them, they don't control me. Every man who hits his wife, his violence dog is off the leash. Every man who cheats, his lust dog is running wild. Every man who destroys his family, he never learned to hold the leash. Here's what I tell my sons. Those urges you feel, that rage, that hunger, those are your dogs. Every man has them. Your grandfather had them. I have them. The difference between a gentleman and an animal, a gentleman keeps his dogs on a short leash, always. And when you master this, when you truly master this, something beautiful happens. Violence becomes protection, the power to defend, not destroy. Lust becomes passion, the fire for one woman, not every woman. Your dogs become your strength, not your shame, but only if you're strong enough to be their master. Because here's the truth that should terrify every father. Between 16 and 20, those chains get cut. The dogs are no longer leashed to you. If you haven't learned to control them by then, you'll spend your whole life being controlled by them, destroying relationships, traumatizing children, leaving wreckage, blaming everyone but yourself.